we move to the next video of the news. And just a quick update. I'm not sure if I touched on this in yesterday's news video. I think I did, but I'm not sure that I did. That AEW Dark and Dark Elevation are done for now, according to Andrew Zarian. Basically, I don't remember if I elaborated on this or spoke about it in an eloquent enough, maybe not in an eloquent enough way, in the proper way. Because fact of the matter is, it is that Dark and Dark Elevation are not done for good. According to Andrew Zarian, they're done for now. But the elimination of Dark and Elevation does have to do with Collision and the arrival of a new AEW program, which is something that a lot of us expected and honestly kind of hoped for, because I will take from what I saw in a YouTube comment about this subject matter, and that is that there is such thing as too much wrestling, so still having Dark and Dark Elevation alongside the debut of Collision, it kind of would fall into the category of sometimes too much wrestling is not good. And with the viewership numbers being down with Dark Elevation and Dark, it was fitting that AEW made this decision to eliminate this program from the schedule. So, I know there were people that enjoyed Dark and Dark Elevation for a variety of reasons. I'm not one of them. I never watched either program, and I'm not really going to miss them. But the fact of the matter is, I do understand why they moved away from those programs. And now, speaking of AEW, Jon Moxley was announced at the latest New Japan event that he will be at Wrestling Dontaku, I believe it was, that it was announced that Mox will be at Dominion in June, teaming with, and it is possible that it will be a 6-man tag team match involving Mox again, where Mox will team with Shota Umino and someone whose name is escaping me against Tomohiro Ishii, Okada, and Tanahashi in what would be an incredible 6-man tag team match. But it will be the first time in almost 3 years that Mox will be in a New Japan ring. And then we move over to some quick notes, as Eddie Dennis, who worked under WWE in NXT UK, that's what it was. In NXT UK, Eddie Dennis was brought back to WWE as a producer and writer for NXT. I know nothing about Eddie Dennis. I think he is a local UK star. I think he is a local UK star, but congratulations to Eddie Dennis for being brought into WWE as a writer-producer. And from what I understand from people who have seen Eddie Dennis or know Eddie Dennis offhand, they seem to think it is a solid hire by WWE and a welcome or something that should be a welcome addition to WWE's creative production team in NXT. And Tamara Mensah-Stock is also a new hire for WWE, as she is a former Olympic gold medalist in the Tokyo Olympics. Again, unfortunately, I don't know a lot about Tamara Mensah-Stock because I don't know a lot about collegiate wrestling or amateur wrestling. I only know professional wrestling. But, I mean, the only thing I could do is offer congratulations to Tamara Mensah-Stock for signing a contract with World Wrestling Entertainment. And I do hope that whatever transition it takes for an Olympian to make the move over to professional wrestling, that this is something that she wants to do, wants to invest in, and is willing to. I mean, I guess the best way to put it is willing to understand it's not going to be something that she may be able to grasp as quickly as she did Olympic collegiate wrestling or Olympic wrestling. But, you know, there's people that have grasped it before, and that's who she should be looking at as someone to watch. And I'm not talking about Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle set the bar incredibly high for Olympic wrestlers or amateur wrestlers coming into professional wrestling. With that being said, though, congratulations to both Eddie Dennis, and Tamara Mensah-Stock. An interesting turn of events here, though, with WWE announcing that wrestlers are now unable to post. They are banned from posting any injury photos on social media. I mean, I guess I sort of understand this because WWE may want to, like, I don't want to say have maybe like storyline injuries sold as actual injuries, and they can't do that with, you know, the expectation of the wrestlers posting about their injuries, I guess is the best way to put it. And I'm not going to say that that's one of the reasons, but it could be. But what I would say is that it's unfortunate that WWE is taking that step because it helped talent being able to post about their injuries more than it hampered the talent, I think. You know, and I don't necessarily understand this decree. I don't not agree with it, I just don't understand it. You know, I would say there's a difference. But now we shift over to AEW once again, as AEW's main event for Double or Nothing has been announced, and another match for Double or Nothing has also been announced. Let's get to the main event first, though, as it was announced at the end of Dynamite last night. With the results of the main event of Dynamite last night, it is official. The main event of Double or Nothing is MJF defending the AEW World Championship against the other three pillars of AEW, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jack Perry. It is the first time that all four pillars will be in the same match together, and it is AEW going in a different direction, and it is the first time, in my opinion, in a very long time, that MJF is actually fighting someone that is not a proven commodity. This is something that AEW should be focused on, as part of what they should be doing is establishing their commodities as proven commodities. I'm not saying that should be their main focus, but this feud with Darby Allin and MJF could reinvigorate Darby Allin, who has been stalling. Jack Perry needed another step forward. Sammy Guevara needed an identity outside of being Chris Jericho's lackey. Now that's Daniel Garcia's position, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Double or Nothing main event now, as I don't think anybody expected anything else from that match outside of it being a four pillars four-way. Now we shift over to Impact Wrestling, as Trinity Fatu explained on Busted Open Radio why she left WWE and what expectation, why she chose Impact Wrestling. Honestly, I think outside of New Japan and the potential that you had, or the potential that you have in New Japan to be a leader in the women's division, as the women's division is still in its infancy in New Japan, I think that based on what she said and how she phrased things, it seemed like what deterred her from rejoining WWE was how WWE handled the situation that took place last year with Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out. And I mean, it seemed like she was insulted by how WWE handled the situation. And maybe just a bit of after the amount of time that she spent in WWE, that she felt a little stagnated and that she would have been in a more prominent position than she was within the company, but by the time that she was in the position that she was in. And I do understand that. I understand the logic. And from the standpoint, from that standpoint, I understand why she walked away. I understand why she chose Impact Wrestling. Because honestly, I don't think there's any company in wrestling that has a better women's division than Impact Wrestling. So I don't think Trinity could have chosen a better place to go. But I also understand, based on my estimation, why she chose to leave WWE. And I give her props for walking away. Because it probably wasn't easy choosing to walk away from the company that also houses her husband and now being in Impact Wrestling, doing something for herself, as if you think about it, I believe it was 2008, 2009 when she made her debut with Brodus Clay, maybe a little later. Maybe it was like 2011. No, yeah. It was probably like 2011, 2010, 2011 when she made her debut. But she's been with WWE pretty much her entire career, so branching out, props to her for branching out. But with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts, and I will see you tomorrow for the next news video.